Hello, everyone, and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Eric Hammond, and we're live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. And over the next few minutes, we'll take you from the United States and around the world, covering all the top stories of the day. But before that, here's a look at the latest headlines. President Donald Trump speaks with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and promises to meet him soon. The two leaders discuss the ceasefire in Gaza and the bilateral economic relationship over a 45-minute phone call. Belarus elects incumbent president and Putin ally Alexander Lukashenko for another 5-year term. Western governments, however, reject the 70-year-old's victory as a sham. At least 18 people die in a truck accident in southeastern Nigeria, a week after a petrol tanker blast in the country killed 98 people. Authorities say those killed were burnt beyond recognition. A Pakistani court sentences 4 men to death for sharing blasphemous content on social media about Islamic religious figures and the Quran. And Taiwan blacklists 52 Chinese-owned ships where the vessels are registered in third countries. The self-governing island says it will closely monitor the ships to protect its subsea telecom cables. We begin right here in the United States, where officers of the Drug Enforcement Administration, or the DEA, carried out a series of raids across the country over the weekend. From high schools to nightclubs to even churches, DEA officials detained close to 1,000 illegal migrants in states like Illinois and Colorado. The raids were authorized by President Donald Trump's border czar Tom Homan, and most of the detained migrants belong to countries like Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela, and Haiti. The Trump administration said it will begin deporting the detained immigrants to their respective countries. Now, initially, Colombia and Mexico refused to take back the migrants, but changed their stance after initial back-and-forth threats from the respective capitals. After a brief showdown, Colombia even offered to send its presidential plane to take back the detained migrants.
Colombia's government informs it has gotten over the impasse with the government of the United States. In this context, Colombian Foreign Minister Luis Gilberto Murillo and Ambassador Daniel Garcia Peña will travel in the coming days to Washington, D.C. to have high-level meetings that follow up on the agreements resulting from the joint work that led to the exchange of diplomatic notes between the two governments. Colombia's government, under the direction of President Gustavo Petro, has made ready to facilitate the return of Colombians who were going to arrive in the country this morning on deportation flights. Colombia ratifies it will keep diplomatic channels of discussion to guarantee their rights, our national interests, and the dignity of our citizens.
Tiene dispuesto el avión presidencial.
Meanwhile, Brazilian President Lula da Silva lodged a complaint after his country agreed to take back its migrants from the United States, but was shocked to see them land in Rio de Janeiro in handcuffs. However, neither President Trump nor his administration seem to be in the mood to cater to diplomatic sensitivities and have promised to deport thousands of illegal migrants as early as this week.
You're going to see the number steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats. That's a smaller population. So we're going to do this on priority base, as President Trump's promised, but as that aperture opens, there'll be more arrests nationwide. If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country legally, you got a problem.
Now, in his first interview since taking office, Vice President J.D. Vance defended President Trump's executive orders calling for a nationwide emergency at the southern border and ending birthright citizenship.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers. But just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world. No country says that temporary visitors, their children will be given complete access to the benefits and blessings of American citizenship.
Now, just last week, 24 democratically run states sued President Trump over his executive order ending birthright citizenship, calling it a violation of the 14th Amendment. Also, a judge blocked this order temporarily for 2 weeks, and President Trump has vowed to appeal the ruling in what is just the beginning of one of America's most crucial legal battles that could ultimately be decided by the Supreme Court. And staying with President Trump, the commander-in-chief is being urged to release Prince Harry's immigration files. The British royal's immigration status was an issue during the president's recent campaign, and he promised to take action against Prince Harry for failing to disclose his past drug use on the visa application. Now, applications for visas or green cards require candidates to honestly disclose their history of drug use, and a failure calls for strict action, including even expulsion. Now, as President Trump begins delivering on his promises of firing DEI hires and rounding up illegal migrants, is Prince Harry's deportation next on his list? Our next report has more.
Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has been enjoying his time at a Montecito estate in California for the last 5 years. But it looks like his "I'm running away from home" phase is coming to an end. And it's not because of his wife Meghan Markle or the British royal family, because this time Prince Harry is facing a much bigger challenge: President Donald Trump. Life for the Duke was a walk in the park during the Biden administration. He had time to visit Nigeria, Canada, and Latin America. He supported his wife as she made jam, lifestyle products, and starred in her debut Netflix show. But all that hit a roadblock when Trump came to office. Since then, the British royalty and his wife have been trending for all the wrong reasons. First, it was Meghan Markle's out-of-touch Netflix show, where she spoke about living a common person's life while walking in her avocado groves, showing off a $1 million mansion that wasn't even hers. And then it was Prince Harry and Meghan turning up to wildfire relief centers in Los Angeles, accompanied with 5 cameras. Dubbed as disaster tourists, the duo weren't fully prepared for what was ahead. President Trump is being urged to investigate the British prince-turned-Californian's immigration records. That's because the British prince may have lied about his past drug use when emigrating from the United Kingdom. You see, Prince Harry is in the United States on an A1 visa, which is given to heads of states and has far lower security and background checks compared to other visas. But to get the visa, Prince Harry lied on his application status when asked about drug use. He himself spilled the tea when he spoke about consuming cocaine, cannabis, and psychedelic mushrooms in his 2023 memoir, Spare. Applications for visa-based entry into the United States undergo a lot of scrutiny. Any drug use history is grounds for an automatic rejection. But not if you're British royalty. In fact, the US visa system is bending over backwards to keep Prince Harry in the country. In September last year, a federal judge ruled against the disclosure of the prince's visa application papers, and Prince Harry prefers it that way because he can remain on the A1 visa his entire life and continue growing avocados with Meghan in California. But Trump wants to change that. In fact, he's wanted to change that for over a year. In March 2024, Trump brought up Prince Harry's deceitful visa application during election season. He vowed to deport the British royalty for failing to disclose about his drug use. And now that Trump is in power, he's being urged to pursue on his promises. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's political leanings don't help either. Not only did they campaign for the Democrats, but they also donated millions of dollars to Democratic-run campaigns via the Archwell Foundation, a not-for-profit organization founded by the duo themselves. And Trump is already delivering on his campaign promises. The crackdown on diversity, equity and inclusion or DEI hires has already begun. Illegal migrants are being rounded up and deported. And once the big tasks are crossed off Trump's checklists, he could just go after Prince Harry, forever altering his dream of making California his home to just an overextended vacation.
And now shifting focus to the power struggle inside the White House. President Donald Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, has cemented her authority in the current administration by denying Elon Musk a permanent base inside the West Wing. Now, this came after she made it clear that not everyone is welcome inside Trump's inner circle, especially those who, quote, want to work solo or be a star, end quote. In fact, Wiles has undertaken a series of measures ensuring that Tesla CEO has limited access to President Trump, which was not the case during the election. During the campaigns, Elon Musk was often seen with Donald Trump and would even spend time with his family members at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. For now, however, Wiles says she is taking charge of the administration's inner workings and wants the billionaire to schedule an appointment if and when he wants to meet with the president. This strategic move reflects the White House Chief of Staff's efforts to maintain a structure of hierarchy within the administration, and it looks like Elon Musk did not make the cut. In fact, Musk's once entrenched influence has been fading after he criticized President Trump's $500 billion deal for AI investments with SoftBank and OpenAI. Musk has repeatedly called out OpenAI and its CEO Sam Altman, which became a major talking point after the president onboarded OpenAI for the tech initiative called Stargate.
Related to your AI, EO, just hours after you made that big Stargate announcement, Elon Musk tweeted that they don't actually have the money. Is that true?
I don't know if they do, but they're putting up the money. The government's not putting up anything. They're putting up money. They're very rich people, so I hope they do. And I mean, Elon doesn't like one of those people.
Now, Elon Musk did campaign for a working space in the Oval Office for setting up the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. However, the request was denied, and DOGE now operates from the Eisenhower Executive Office building, which is adjacent to the White House.
Day one, I directed every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and bring down the cost of daily life. We want to bring prices down. Too high. They went way up. They didn't come down. I imposed a federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, a foreign aid freeze. Oh, that's a nice one. And I created the new Department of Government Efficiency, and we're going to have a lot of good people. Elon, we're going to get Elon Musk to get involved in that a little bit. He already is.
Now, Wiles is seen as the main gatekeeper for President Trump, and she's now creating barriers for even Elon Musk, whose large personality and political clout have at times overshadowed even President Donald Trump himself. However, with the latest move to keep Musk away from the West Wing, it looks like the tech billionaire may have ruffled a few feathers within the president's team. And now moving to the Middle East, over the weekend, President Donald Trump suggested a contentious solution to end the conflict in the Gaza Strip. The commander-in-chief said moving more than 1 million Palestinians out of Gaza might be the best solution to end all disputes in the region. Trump added that he's urged Jordan's King Abdullah to take in more Palestinians and is making a similar appeal to Egyptian President El-Sisi.
I'd like Egypt to take people. I'm talking to General El-Sisi tomorrow, sometime, I believe. And I'd like Egypt to take people, and I'd like Jordan to take people. You're talking about probably 1.5 million people, and we just clean out that whole thing. It's it's over the centuries that's many conflicts at site, and I don't know. It's something has to happen, but it's literally a demolition site right now. Almost everything's demolished.
Now, the proposal has been roundly rejected by almost all parties involved, as the suggestion has raised concerns about ethnic cleansing. Jordan's foreign ministry said it was committed to ensuring all Palestinians remain on their land.
We work towards this according to our constants, that everyone knows that the solution to the Palestinian issue is in Palestine. that Jordan is for Jordanians and Palestine is for the Palestinians, and that we all want to achieve security, stability, and peace in the region, and that the path to this security, stability, and peace in the region, and the fulfillment of the rights of the Palestinian people for an independent and sovereign Palestinian state, to live in security and peace alongside Israel according to the two-state solution, and based on international law, internationally legitimate resolutions, and approved references.
Now, Egypt has reiterated its position against the displacement of Palestinians from Gaza through forced eviction. And the Palestinian Authority governing most of the West Bank also condemned President Trump's idea. Hamas has also said, which is also releasing hostages under a ceasefire deal with Israel, said too that it will not accept such an offer.
Our Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip endured death and destruction for 15 months without leaving their land. Therefore, they will not accept any offers or solutions, even if they appear to be good intentions under the title of reconstruction, as announced by U.S. President Trump's proposals.
President Trump has floated the controversial plan at a time when tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians are now returning to their homes in northern Gaza. This as Israel has opened the roadblocks after Hamas agreed to release 4 more female hostages.
We are very happy to be back to our land, to our homeland, and to Gaza. A salute to the fighters and a salute to everyone who fought with us, and a salute to everyone who helped us and supported us. Thanks to everyone who extended a hand to us, and we are very happy and victorious. It is true that we got tired, but in the end we were victorious. Thank you to the fighters. Thank God, it's like I was born again and we were victorious again. May we go to Jerusalem just like we went to Gaza City. We will return to Jerusalem.
Now, Donald Trump has not given specific details about his proposal, meaning the plan may or may not be under consideration. Additionally, the president has a long history of floating plans without following through with them. However, such comments can still stoke fears among 2 million people in Gaza, most of whom were displaced in the 15 months of war, which saw them lose everything. And staying in the Middle East, President Donald Trump's return to the White House has scared Iran to its core. The Islamic regime has ordered its proxies to exercise caution and not provoke Washington at any cost. Meanwhile, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is avoiding public locations and wearing flak jackets even at private events. Our final story dives into the threat Iran faces as President Donald Trump settles down in the White House.
Amid a period of crippling economy and harsh military setbacks, Iran faces one more challenge: U.S. President Donald Trump's return to the White House. Fearing a wipeout, the Islamic regime has reportedly ordered its proxies across the Middle East to take every step with caution and maintain defensive positions. Tehran has also asked commanders of its allied forces to avoid provoking Washington or the regional enemies.
Forces and allies in the region have been instructed to act with caution as the regime feels an existential threat with Trump's return. In Iraq and Yemen, forces have been told not to target any American assets, and if they do, they are explicitly warned against using Iranian weapons. They have been told to keep defensive positions for a while and to avoid any actions that might provoke the Americans.
The fear of an existential threat is evident in Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's latest deeds. Last week, the 85-year-old Iranian cleric appeared to be wearing a flak vest while attending the funeral of 2 Supreme Court judges who were gunned down inside the country's apex court. While standing over the coffins, Khamenei was pictured with his robes bulging at unusual angles.
They were rewarded with their martyrdom in the way of God, at the hands of God's enemies. Those who die as martyrs actually received a reward from God.
And the same week, the Iranian Supreme Leader toured an exhibition at a government venue next to his residence, continuing a pattern of avoiding public locations. Once a powerful clerical regime, Iran has been significantly weakened in recent years due to back-to-back misfortunes. In 2022, civil unrest and protests erupted against the Iranian government following the death of Mahsa Amini, who was detained by the nation's morality police for not wearing a hijab properly. Next was Israel's attacks on its proxies like Hamas, Hezbollah and Houthis, and an apparent infiltration of Israeli spies into Iran. And just last month, with the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria, Iran lost a key weapons smuggling route for its proxies.
The fall of Assad has intensified fears in the regime. There are now fears they may not be able to hold on to the country after witnessing what happened to Assad, which no one here expected. A large-scale operation is underway to identify and arrest Israeli spies and infiltrators, and there are concerns that they may have infiltrated high-ranking offices.
To top all of Iran's problems, Trump in December said anything can happen when asked about the chances of going to war with Iran. Though in a recent remark, the US president said it would be nice if the Iranian nuclear crisis could be solved without a military strike on Tehran. Meanwhile, Iran's vice president has denied that his country is at its weakest position and hoped that Trump would be more serious and focused this time around.
I hope that this time around, a Trump 2 will be more serious, more focused, more realistic, to know that his withdrawal the withdrawal that was imposed on him, and he has said it, that he did it for Israel. And he has said now that he won't do anything for any other country. He said it on his inauguration. After he withdrew from JCPOA, Iran has gained much more nuclear capability.
Tehran is also strengthening its ties with Vladimir Putin by trying to acquire Russia's S-400 air defense system. But experts say, under Trump's shadow, Iran's Supreme Leader Khamenei faces 4 difficult years ahead that could reshape the region.
That's Firstpost America for this Monday. I'm Eric Ham signing off from Washington, D.C. Thanks everyone for watching.